everybody, and welcome to Movie Recaps with Brit. Today, we will be taking a look at an episode from the series, Girl from Nowhere, titled Social Love. Without further ado, let's get started. At the start of the episode, a school orientation event occurred. A youth was drumming while Nanno abruptly emerged and danced in the middle, unintentionally colliding with Hann. Nanno conversed with Hann and conveyed her appreciation to him. Regrettably, their encounter was recorded on video, resulting in a proposal for them to pose for a photograph together. Inquisitive learners asked about Nanno's name and started endorsing her with Hann, fondly referring to them as Hanno. As the camera filmed, they were requested to greet, and this unforeseen pair gained fame throughout the school, with everyone admiring their connection. While Yui was rehearsing with her band, she stumbled upon a Facebook page devoted to Hann and Nanno. Intrigued, she messaged Hann, who perused her message. Witnessing Hann's smile as he glanced at his phone, everyone wondered if he was conversing with Nanno. In the meantime, Yui nervously awaited Hann at their agreed meeting place. At last, Hann appeared and laid his head on Yui's lap. He apologized to her, and disclosed that Je had suggested exploiting his sudden notoriety. Yui reassured Hann that he was already sufficiently admired by a good number of students, and he vowed to discuss with Je, encouraging him to explore a different narrative rather than fixating on himself and Nanno. Hann confided in Yui, admitting that his bond with Nanno was merely a figment of imagination, and that Yui was his genuine soulmate, the one he truly cherished. Right at that moment, Hann got a message from Je, informing him about Nanno's unexpected vanishing. The whole gang united their efforts to locate Nanno, who turned out to be trapped inside one of the stalls in the school's restroom. They could hear her desperate pleas for help. Hann took the lead and attempted to force open the door with a well-aimed kick. He successfully liberated Nanno from the confinement and tenderly tried to wake her, resulting in a heartfelt embrace between the two. Meanwhile, Yui observed their interaction closely. The spectators, brimming with enthusiasm, cheered Hann and Nanno on, urging them to finally embrace their relationship. Nevertheless, Hann interrupted the conversation and shared that Nanno could be romantically connected with another person. Much to everyone's astonishment, Nanno revealed her single status at the moment. Curiously, she directed her attention to Hann and questioned him about his relationship situation. Hann openly confessed that he also doesn't have a girlfriend. Amidst the playful banter about Nanno and Hann's hypothetical relationship, Nanno suddenly chose to depart, feeling a bit disheartened. But surprisingly, Hann stepped in, catching everyone off guard, and he asked Nanno to be his girlfriend. The unforeseen twist caused laughter to erupt among the spectators. Nanno accepted his proposal with a request that Hann would never leave her side. In the background, Yui, who had quietly watched the scene, felt a tinge of sadness. As cheers erupted for the newly united duo, their Facebook page, Hanno, saw a surge of likes. Enthusiastic individuals shared their thoughts about Hann and Nanno, conveying their joy for the couple. Supporters took their enthusiasm to the next level by creating and selling merchandise solely dedicated to the couple. In the midst of this, Yui reached out to Hann, seeking an explanation for his actions. Hann confessed that his motives were rooted in a thirst for online fame. Nevertheless, Yui reminded him of their planned date, as she was already waiting for him. As Hann readied himself to leave and meet Yui, Je and Nanno unexpectedly entered his room. Nanno revealed she had a nightmare and confessed that she wanted to watch Hann sleep, prompting her visit. The following day, Hann and Nanno shared a pleasant lunch, and Nanno had thoughtfully prepared a special lunchbox for him. In front of an enthralled crowd, Nanno even playfully fed Hann, which further fueled the surge of likes on their Facebook page. Later, they took to the dance floor together, mesmerizing the audience with their chemistry. As Hann and Nanno's relationship blossomed before everyone's eyes, Yui could only observe from the sidelines, unable to intervene. Feeling overwhelmed by the situation, Yui eventually excused herself and withdrew to a private space. Worried about her well-being, Hann followed her and asked about her distress. Yui vented her frustrations, holding everything that had unfolded responsible. Hann tried to comfort her, reassuring Yui that it was all staged. He consoled her and explained that the situation with Nanno had been a misunderstanding. He guaranteed Yui that he would terminate his connection with Nanno within 48 hours, vowing to uphold his pledge to her. In a moment of fervor, Yui asked for a kiss, as a confirmation of his commitment. Just as they were about to lock lips, everyone entered the room and stumbled upon them in that affectionate instant. Nanno staged a spectacle, feigning distress and shedding tears as she departed from the scene. Je counseled Hann to pursue Nanno, acknowledging her heartfelt feelings. Hann trailed after her and discovered Nanno in tears. She gathered courage to inquire whether Hann and Yui were genuinely in love. Hann honestly admitted to being in a relationship with Yui, but his intention of making everyone happy led him to date Nanno. Surprisingly, Nanno burst into laughter, revealing that she had known about Hann and Yui's relationship since the start of the school year. She comprehended Hann's ambition for fame and his effort to please everyone, so she went along with it. Hann nodded, acknowledging her point of view, and proposed ending their relationship. In response, Nanno threatened to expose Hann for breaking her heart and blame Yui for their breakup. She asserted that this would harm Hann's popularity, especially since she had evidence that could convince those who supported them. She simply had to act convincingly and elicit sympathy from people. After their conversation, Hann left the room, pondering the situation. Subsequently, Yui became the target of bullying because of the perceived relationship with Hann. Online harassment escalated, with hurtful comments and attacks directed at her. Meanwhile, the Facebook page dedicated to Hann and Nanno gained more likes. Yui confided in Hann about the bullying, and he admitted being in a tough spot due to Nanno's manipulations. Amid these events, while Nanno was immersed in playing basketball, someone approached her and they engaged in a game. Yui paid this person and took photos of the encounter, planning to expose Nanno's actions. However, Nanno's fans found out about Yui's actions and started recording her in retaliation. The situation escalated, leading to heightened tensions. The next day, everyone wore Hann and Nanno masks and stared at Yui. Unable to endure it any longer, Yui climbed onto a table to confront them. She confronted the crowd about their sanity and warned them, but they ignored her and started throwing objects while chanting Hanno. Overwhelmed by the attack, Yui sought refuge in the restroom to clean herself, with Hann following her. Inside, Yui asked for Nanno's cell phone number, devising her plan. However, her plan backfired when Nanno's fans cornered her and subjected her to physical harm. In distress and pain, Yui called out for Hann's assistance. Later that night, Hann tenderly tended to the wounds on Yui's face. As he cared for her, a troubling thought crossed Hann's mind. He considered that if Nanno were to die, he might experience sorrow but regain his freedom. Motivated by this thought, Hann wrote a letter to Nanno, asking for a meeting on the rooftop. Yui nervously anticipated Nanno's arrival, overwhelmed by her emotions. When Nanno finally appeared on the rooftop, Yui impulsively struck her on the head, consumed by rage and desperation. Yui contemplated pushing Nanno off the edge, but before she could act, an unforeseen incident took place. Nanno accidentally fell on the rooftop, causing everyone to witness her injuries and bloodied state. Hann appeared unaware of what had happened and hurried to Nanno's side, urgently instructing everyone to call an ambulance. Yui was in shock, trying to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Onlookers focused on comforting Hann and sympathizing with him over the unfortunate incident involving Nanno. In her room, Yui couldn't escape the haunting images of the disturbing events that unfolded on the rooftop, replaying relentlessly in her mind. Nanno wore a sinister smile as she taunted Yui, intentionally throwing herself off the rooftop. She thanked Yui, believing that this act would keep her and Hann together forever. Amidst the chaos, Hann came to Yui's room and informed her that she had succeeded. However, Yui denied any involvement, visibly anxious. Despite her protests, Hann overlooked her distress and expressed his happiness. Yui reminded him to follow the plan and act saddened, then suddenly he received a text message. Hann returned to the hospital, where the doctor revealed that Nanno survived the fall but would be in a vegetative state for life, needing constant care. The doctor asked if Hann, as her boyfriend, would be willing to take on that responsibility and stay with her indefinitely. Encouraged by the people around him, Hann felt compelled to accept the role and committed to supporting Nanno. The episode ended with resounding chants of Hanno from everyone present. We then taken back in time, where Nanno expressed gratitude to Yui, for enabling her to be with Hann forever. Thank you for watching our movie recap. While it may seem simple, it actually took a lot of hard work and dedication to produce. If you enjoyed the video, we kindly ask you to show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. By doing so, you'll stay updated on our latest content and help us continue creating more in-depth analyses and critiques of the movies you love. Thank you again for your support.